Hey, what's up, everyone? It's Anno Domini here, CEO of Modern Producers and Anno Domini Nation. Let me know real quick if you can hear me, if the audio is working okay. And we're about to kick things off with today's free online webinar presentation for music producers. So I see a bunch of people in the live room already. Shout out to Samir, Matt, Demetrius, Gilbert, Nick is checking in. Glad to hear you guys can hear me. So just let me know, where's everyone checking in from today? I saw a bunch of registrations from all over the place, so I'd love to know where you're all coming from today. Me, I'm coming to you live from Los Angeles right now. I'm on the West Coast, so it's 11 a.m. in the morning over here. Where are y'all checking in from? Johnny is here. Shaquille, shout out to you, man. I see DK from Hawaii is checking in. I see a couple of people from London. Wow, the messages are already flying in. I'm having a hard time keeping up, so shout out to all of you guys for showing up today live for today's producer webinar presentation. Shout out to Rowan, to Josh, to Lewis, Frank, Giselle, Nick, all of you guys. Thank you so much for making it today live on this Friday morning or afternoon if you're checking in from Europe for today's free online webinar presentation. And I'm going to be chatting to you guys about how I make $31,000 a month as a bedroom producer, selling music online from my bedroom. And I'm going to tell you basically how I was able to turn my passion of making music into a living by selling my music on the internet. And for those of you guys checking in for the first time, if you maybe don't know me, my name is Anno Domini. I'm the CEO of Modern Producers and the multi-platinum Anno Domini Nation music production team. We've made beats for people like 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, Rick Ross, Wu-Tang Clan, and a bunch of companies like Coca-Cola, Adidas, BMW, Ford, the NBA, NFL, and countless more. So shout out to all you guys. We're just going to wait a couple more minutes for a few people to trickle in. I know it's obviously a Friday. A bunch of people are going to be probably a couple minutes late. A few people are tuning in from work. So shout out to all you 9-to-5ers out there. A few more shout outs as well. Thank you to Sean for checking in, for Ernst all the way from Germany and Holland checking in. Mal, what's up? Let me know if you guys can hear me. Just want to make sure that the audio is working okay and that the slide is showing up for you guys. This is a live presentation, so if for whatever reason your screen freezes at some point, just refresh your browser or click that little refresh button on the Webinar Jam app that you logged into, and it will restart everything for you. If for some reason the audio freezes, same story as well, but hopefully it won't come to that. But you know how these things are. If we do the live presentation, sometimes technology lags, and that's just what happens. So shout out to all you guys for making it today. We have over 400 almost people in the live room already. I know quite a few people are going to trickle in still throughout the presentation. Shout out to all you producers out there. Let me know if you make beats. Who is a beat maker or a producer? Yo, shout out to Eric. You're very welcome, man. Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. Lawrence as well, thank you for checking in. Here makes beats. What programs are you guys using as well? I'm an FL Studio user myself. Let me know what kind of stuff you're making beats on. I saw a couple of people commenting Pro Tools, a couple of Reason users, Logic. That's cool, guys. Nice. Shout out to Unstoppable Music. Shout out to Ashley as well. Thank you for checking in. And I see a couple of people checking in from Finland, from Sweden. I saw one guy. Really appreciate that, man. It's amazing to see so many producers from all over the world checking in live today. In case you missed the introduction earlier, my name is Anno Domini. I'm the CEO of Anno Domini Nation. We're a multi-platinum music production team. And I'm also the CEO of modernproducers.com, which is one of the premier online websites for music producers, for kits and software and stuff like that. And I'm really excited because today's presentation is actually sponsored by producerloops.com and machinemasters.com, which are two of the absolute biggest and best websites for music producers, hands down. And they sort of help me out. We're all colleagues, obviously, in this music production community. We all help each other out. They were promoting for me, and I'm really excited to be presenting today's free online webinar presentation to you guys. So today's topic is going to be how I make $31,000 a month as a bedroom music producer. And I'm going to be teaching you guys how you can grow your revenue from selling your music online, how you can sell more licenses, how you can create a passive income for yourself, where you don't even have to do anything actively. You're just constantly making money from stuff that you already created, which is obviously the ideal scenario. And I'm also going to be talking about how you can grow your brand as a music producer and really how you can make better beats to make all of this happen in the first place. So we're just going to wait one more minute, guys, and then we'll kick things off. Shout out to all of you. I hope you can hear me. I hope the audio and video is working okay. So this is going to be a slideshow presentation. I hope you can see the first slide, which is the introductory slide. We'll be moving on to the actual webinar in just a couple of seconds. A few more minutes for people to check in. Joseph is coming. Joseph says he uses Sonar, so that's cool, man. I definitely messed with Sonar a couple of times in my lifetime, so that's a great program. Carlos, welcome. So once again, this isn't a video. I'm actually going to be talking through the slides, and I will be taking some questions later where I'm going to be showing a video as well, so you guys can chat to me and ask me any kind of questions you have. But for the time being, I'm just going to be walking you guys through the presentation and hopefully teaching you guys a ton of knowledge and some really useful stuff so you can take your music production career to the next level. All right, so let's get things kicked off then, guys. Thank you to all of you for checking in from all over the world today. It really means a lot to me. My name is Anno Domini, like I said, from the multi-platinum Anno Domini Nation music production company. And by showing up today, you've definitely made the right decision. I know that it can be really hard making money from music. There's kind of the stereotype of the starving musician. But listen, I'm here to tell you guys that it doesn't have to be that way. There are actually a ton of different ways that you can monetize your music. And it's my mission, absolutely, it's my goal and my motivation to try and help as many music producers and musicians to achieve the dream of theirs of making a living from music. And you've really made the right decision to show up today because you're going to discover exactly how you can turn your passion into a living. And you're also going to learn how to monetize your music. And I'm going to teach you how to step up your music production quality to make that happen. So if you missed the introduction earlier, I'm Anno Domini. I'm the head of a multi-platinum team. We have 11 professional music producers. And in the past and the present, we've made beats for people like 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, Tech9, Wu-Tang Clan, Rick Ross, and many, many renowned brands like Coca-Cola, Adidas, MTV, Sony, and so on. You can actually hear our team's beats in over 200 million song plays on the internet right now, and over 3 billion video views on sites like YouTube. So if you stay until the end of today's presentation, no matter what, I actually want to give you guys some free stuff. I know I said there might be some surprises during this webinar, and I've definitely got your back. So I'm going to be handing you guys the free 808 source pack, which is an incredible collection of contact library and also wave samples for producers with some incredible 808s that I use in all my own beats. And it's made by Jules Jaden, who hands down has some of the dopest drums in the game. So I'm going to be giving that out no matter what for free for all you guys that are looking for a little freebie as a thank you for showing up to the webinar. So that's just my way of saying thank you for taking the time out to listen to me. Okay, so real quick before we get into the meaty stuff, some webinar house rules. No shameless self-promotion in the comment section, please, guys. That's not what we're here for. There is definitely going to be some networking opportunities after the event, so you can all kind of link up, share your links. You can talk to me, talk to each other, and that's going to happen after the presentation. If you do have any questions throughout the presentation, then please, if you don't mind, just keep them until the end of the webinar, because it's going to be really hard for me to walk you through all the steps and give you all the knowledge and at the same time try and read and answer the questions. And there's a bit of a delay as well between me asking questions and you receiving the audio and commenting. So I don't want to just kind of say something, ask you guys questions, or have you ask me a question, and then there's just like 15 seconds of silence. So nobody wants that. And the final rule, guys, no negativity or trolling, please. We're all on this journey together, and that's exactly what makes the music production community so strong. All right, so let's cut straight to the chase. I want to get straight into this. No big preamble. How do I make an average of $31,072 a month by selling music on the internet? All right, so secret number one that I'm going to be talking about is how to maximize your revenue from selling licenses. And basically, you might have seen my website before. It's annodominination.com. And this is the main way that I'll sell my licenses online. And these days, I do have my own website through which I license my music. But when I started out, I absolutely didn't. And you do not need your own website. You don't have to invest huge amounts of money to develop your own domain, to develop your own website. There's actually a ton of awesome platforms out there, which are kind of all-in-one immediate solutions for you to start selling your music. And some of the very best ones are, of course, beatstars.com and myflashstore.net. And if you're more into production music and selling music to advertisers and websites and stuff like that, there's also places like audiojungle.net, where a lot of producers are actually making a lot of money selling through there. So let me know, guys, are you guys BeatStars users? Are you MyFlashStore users? Or what are you guys using? Just drop me a quick comment if you don't mind. The funny thing is, when I started making music online, I was actually using a site called soundclick.com. And back in those days in 2004, SoundClick was the place to be for music producers. And I was actually one of the very first pioneers of sort of starting the whole online music licensing game. So before sort of 2002, 2003, nobody really knew what leases were, what non-exclusive licensing was and stuff like that. And back then it was all kind of kicking off, and it was on this community called soundclick.com. And it quickly became sort of the mecca or the nirvana for beat producers to be selling their music. And all of a sudden, all these guys were professionalizing themselves, and the online beat game became a really big thing. So I'm sure you guys have probably heard of soundclick.com. But the thing is, today, if you're still a producer and you're selling your beats primarily on soundclick.com, I would highly advise you not to do that. And there's a couple of very good reasons for that. First of all, SoundClick was not built for music producers in mind, and it doesn't cater to their needs. It was actually set up as a forum for people to interact, primarily through country music and classical music and stuff like that. So the original creators of the site, they kind of envisioned this forum where country music and rock music fans could interact and post up their music. It was never meant specifically for music producers, and definitely not for kind of trap and hip hop and stuff like that. So this is also one of the reasons why the moderators are not very friendly towards music producers. They're often very strict as well, and they shut down accounts for absolutely no reason. I've had this happen to so many huge producers that you guys have probably all heard of before. You know, people like All Rounder Beats, Cinema Beats, all these guys like left SoundClick a long while ago. And this could be for any reason. For example, if you have multiple accounts, they will shut you down. If you accidentally post a piece of music in the wrong genre, they can shut you down. So it's definitely a very precarious situation to be in if your entire dependency is on just SoundClick. The other thing as well is that their customer service is pretty slow and unreliable. If you send them an email, often it will take them weeks to get back to you, which obviously is not ideal. And if you really want to jump into the top of the spots, into the top of the charts, which is the only real way of making money on SoundClick, then you have to spend a fortune on a promotion. And it's super hard to try and book those promotions because they're gone instantly. I'm sure you guys, if you use SoundClick, you're well aware of this kind of stuff. Also, it's pretty easy for people to steal your music. It's actually super easy to stream from SoundClick. There's no kind of protection or anything like that. They don't offer any kind of beat tagging. You do actually have to upload your own tagged files, which is a pain in the ass. Excuse my French. And the other thing about SoundClick is that the traffic has been steadily declining over the past 5 years. So definitely, if you're starting out as a music producer or you're a bit more advanced, then you should move on and try something else. So what it really comes down to is, when we're talking about music licensing, BeatStars versus MyFlashStore, or Airbit if you want, since they're rebranding soon and actually adding a ton of new features to their site. If it's a question of cost, both of these sites actually charge about the same. They have a free account that you guys can try out. Something like 10 beats to each site just to try them out and see whether you like it, whether you like the process, the technology, the service, and whether you're making any money selling beats on there. And then there's also upgrade options of the $9.99 for the more professional producers, and then the $19.99 packages for the sort of professional producers who need all of their tracks uploaded, need unlimited licensing and stuff like that. So in terms of pricing, both of these sites are the same. But there is certain features and certain services which are better on one side and, you know, better on one side over the other. With BeatStars, what I like a lot about that is that it's very technologically advanced, and it has the most features and customizations. And also they roll out new developments very quickly. But the downside is that it can be kind of difficult to navigate, especially for beginner producers, because there's just an overwhelming amount of customization and options and stuff like that. And sometimes it can be a pretty steep learning curve to try and get to grips with it. And also, because of the fact that they roll out so many developments and new services, it can be a little glitchy sometimes, and they do have issues with, you know, your BeatStore crashing and things like that from time to time. MyFlashStore, on the other hand, it's a lot more simple, it's a lot more streamlined. So it's probably great for beginners because it's a lot more simple to understand and navigate, and you can start selling beats right away. And also the environment is a lot more stable because they really take their time to test and roll out developments slowly. Now, one of the cool things about BeatStars, though, is that you can have your own personal producer page hosted through the website. So you can actually fully customize everything. You can make it even mask your domain name. So you can have something like superbeats.com, instead of, beatstars.com/superbeats. So it looks highly professional. You can customize all the options, all the colors and all of that. And the Pro Page 2 that they just rolled out looks absolutely slick. So very high end and very cool stuff. You can also upload and host your files directly through the site, which means, you don't have to pay for hosting your big storage files, like your MP3 files, your WAV files and stuff like that externally. And they also have things like beat scheduling functions, a really strong social integration. They really put an emphasis on growing the music production community. And of course, the community is also a mix of artists and producers on BeatStars. So they really try and go after both. And you can message each other, comment, you can create playlists and stuff like that. My Flash store is a little bit more centered on just producers. They don't have a whole lot of traffic from artists as yet. But I know they're rolling out new features soon through their relaunch, which is going to put more of an emphasis on trying to attract more traffic from artists, which hopefully is going to also pick up the sales from the marketplace. So you're going to sell more beats, basically licensing through their in-house marketplace instead of just using the widget. Right now, also, I would say that on my Flash store, the sales statistics and the access to your actual customer data when people buy from you is a little bit limited, whereas BeatStars is much more in-depth. But I know, again, this is something that they're rolling out and developing with their relaunch early April. So keep an eye on that. Some other really cool options that I love about BeatStars is the fact that you can now sell drum kits and services. So this is pretty huge for a lot of producers who kind of do several different things. They don't just license the music, but they also have products available. They have maybe beat mixing services. They have maybe promotion services. So this is pretty cool. And that's something that my Flash store doesn't offer. And then the absolute biggest sort of upside of BeatStars to me personally is the fact that they have distribution services where you can basically enter your beats to be sent to YouTube and SoundCloud's content ID system and distribution, and you can start earning revenue that way. So I'm going to get a little bit more into distribution services and stuff like that, which is basically passive income later on. But yeah, so you can see the two main websites that you want to consider are BeatStars or My Flash Store if you're not going to set up your own website for selling your music. So let me get into real quickly, how does the whole online music licensing work? So it's pretty simple, actually. Basically, someone visits your music profile or website, whether that's your own website or it's your BeatStars profile or your My Flash Store, and they sort of browse through your catalog, they listen to your music, hopefully something catches their ear, and they buy a license. So at that point, the way the system is set up, if you're using BeatStars or My Flash Store, is that automatically your customer will be sent the MP3 file or the WAV or the zip or whatever it is that they bought, and it's going to be sent to their email address. And by turn, the customer receives the music file along with the license, basically giving them the legal rights to use the music in their work. So if you're licensing production music, that means you're giving someone the right to use your music as background music in a TV show or a YouTube video. Or if your customer is an artist, it gives them the right to basically record a song on your instrumental or whatever it is, or your remix, and sell that for a limited amount of copies. So just to take an example from my own website, to kind of teach you guys a little bit more how the whole licensing thing works. Generally speaking, there are three main licenses available to music producers. And I highly recommend that at the very least, you offer to your customers at least two of these, which are the non-exclusive license and the exclusive license. And these ones, technically, they're also called leases by some producers. These ones are mechanical licenses that cater to specifically artists. So it's when you're licensing your beat for another artist to download and use and record a song and sell their tracks. With the non-exclusive license or a lease, basically, they're going to be able to record and then sell their songs digitally or physically. And you can customize exactly how many sales units you want to give to that artist. So that's something you would include in your license contract when they buy from you. The exclusive license, as opposed to the non-exclusive license, is only sold to one single artist. So with non-exclusive, you can actually license to multiple artists at the same time. You can actually sell unlimited non-exclusive licenses. But the exclusive license, which obviously is a lot more expensive, basically means that you mark your music production work as sold, and nobody else is going to be able to sell it anymore. And obviously, that's much more desirable for the artist because he has some kind of exclusivity and something that nobody else has access to. But obviously, he's going to have to pay for that. The third license type, which I would recommend that you think about at least offering to target a completely different consumer group, is the sync license or the synchronization license. And that is basically for advertisers and media professionals. So anybody who's going to use your music in broadcasts like TV shows or YouTube videos or movies and stuff like that. And if you want to get more into music licensing and all the royalties and stuff like that, which also is entailed with the synchronization license, then perhaps you should think about offering this on your website too. So that's all good and well with the licensing, but how do you actually get people to buy your music online in the first place? And one of the ways that I do this, and that I recommend for other producers to do this as well, is by targeting and tapping into different customer groups. And you do that by not just offering the simple non-exclusive license and not just offering the simple sync license, but actually breaking those down into different cost points and different types of non-exclusive licenses. So for example, if you're offering a non-exclusive license to artists, then you might want to offer an MP3 license, which obviously is a much more compressed and lower resolution file format for a lower price point. And that's really going to attract those artists on a budget, or maybe the hobby artists who don't necessarily care too much about the quality. And that's going to be offered for a much lower price. So for me, I usually give my MP3 licenses away for $17, but I've seen producers offer them from anywhere to $10 to $20, something like that. Then the next one up is you can break your non-exclusive license down into a wave license, where basically the artist is going to get a slightly higher quality lossless format of your music, and he's going to want to pay a little bit extra for the premium of owning that higher quality license. So this is for the more serious artists or the guys who really care about their audio quality, and they're happy to pay a little bit more. So this is a different consumer group. Usually wave licenses, I've seen artists sell them from anywhere from $20 to $50, something like that. I do mine for $27. And then finally, you can also break the non-exclusive license down into an unlimited license, which is going to include both the MP3 and the WAV file, and it's going to be able to give the artists an unlimited sales cap, which basically means they can sell an unlimited amount of copies of their song digitally and physically. So for the previous two licenses, the MP3 and the WAV, usually the sales cap will be anywhere from 500 to 2,000 or something like that, whereas the unlimited means they can make as much money and sell as many copies of their album as they want. And that's obviously going to be more expensive, at least somewhere around $100 to $200, because again, people are paying a premium in order to expand the rights of their non-exclusive license. And this appeals to a completely different customer group. The guys who are really concerned with, their song blowing up, or maybe the guys who have a label backing or who already know that they do good units. So you can obviously ask those guys for a little bit more money because they have the budget and they're willing to pay it. And then another little trick is to add an add-on to the existing license that you have. And I do that through trackouts, which are basically the separated instrumental stems of a beat, which means that instead of just getting the mixed down beat, you're going to give them the separate individual instrumental lines. For example, the kick drum, the bass drum, the strings, all separated. And you charge a little bit of a premium for that. And this is really for those guys who want to take the beat, they want to make edits, or they want to do their own mixing and mastering in the studio. So there's no reason to kind of not upsell your customers on the trackouts additionally. For the sync license, it's kind of a similar sort of situation. You can actually break that up into the more hobby enthusiasts, or the guys who are using your music for something not quite as expensive. For example, solely a YouTube sync license for guys who just want to post a music video or do your music in a funny video of a cat running over and looking cute or something like that. And then there's the more serious broadcast sync license, which is for video makers and guys who want to use your music in TV shows or advertisements who have a bigger budget. And obviously, your music is going to be reaching a lot more eyeballs. So that's for the more premium customer group who's wanting to pay more. And again, you can also upsell people on the trackouts, because obviously a lot of sync license buyers are also going to want the individual track lines. And then for the final license type, which is obviously the most high ticket item, that's the exclusive license. And that's really for the top dollar artists who have big budgets, or the guys with label backing, or also the broadcasters in some cases who just want the exclusivity of owning a beat fully. Now, the other way for you to sort of start getting people to buy your music is through visibility. And visibility absolutely translates into more dollars for you guys. So one of the ways that you can achieve more visibility, which means that your beats are being seen by more people, is, for example, by rising up in the charts on BeatStars or My Flash Store. And a lot of you guys might not know this, but the charts on both of those websites are solely based on sales volume. So that is actually why you have a ton of people offering those crazy kind of deals like buy one, get 5 free, or buy one, get 20 free, or something ridiculous like that, which doesn't make a lot of marketing sense. But because they're, instead of just selling one license, they're actually selling 20 at the same time, it means they have 20 times the chance of their beats placing in the charts because it's a sales volume game. Does that make sense? So me personally, I don't like doing this because it sounds a little spammy, the whole buy one, get 5 free, but I understand the thinking behind it, and maybe now you guys too. So that's kind of a consideration that you might want to make. Another way to get more visibility is by paid promotion. And both of those sites, BeatStars and My Flash Store, and of course SoundClick, if you're old school like that, they offer paid promotion where you can have your beats featured on the homepage or on chart pages or specific areas around the website. And obviously that's going to translate to more people clicking and listening to your beats and hopefully more income. But the thing about those paid promotions on the websites is that they're highly competitive. And in my personal opinion, they're kind of difficult to reach a good return on investment. So if you're spending, for example, $100 on promotion, it's very rare, in my opinion, that you're actually going to get $100 more sales back. If anything, it's more of a long-term strategy of just sort of building your brand awareness and getting more people to start following you and listening to your stuff. Now, if we're talking paid promotion, what I absolutely love above everything else, it's an email list. So if you're a music producer, I would say your email list can be your absolute most valuable asset, hands down. If you're not yet curating an email list of your existing customers or your potential customers, then you need to get on that right now. You can actually set up a free account with something like MailChimp.com, and you can add a little email subscribe link to your website. I would always try and entice people to join by offering something free, like a free beat or a free ebook or something like that. And once you have a populated list of email addresses of interested buyers, then you can keep marketing to those guys. So if we're talking about an ad that runs on Facebook, for example, or on one of these beat selling websites, then it's maybe going to be around for a week and then it will disappear and nobody's ever going to click on it again. Whereas an email list is for life. You can keep marketing to these guys and you already know they're interested because they signed up in the first place. The next one that I do recommend as well is using Facebook ads. So with Facebook ads, the only problem is that you need to make sure your advertising is highly targeted, that you're really just targeting potential customers. So do your research, look up what sort of pages on Facebook are getting a lot of traffic from artists. For example, I don't know, Artists United or Boom Bap Hip Hop fans and stuff like that. And then start targeting those groups with targeted Facebook ads. Otherwise, you can blow through your cash really quickly if you're just sending out a general blast to your entire Facebook ads, to your entire Facebook fans list. The next one up is YouTube ads. These can also be pretty profitable. A lot of producers now are actually getting into the whole YouTube advertising game. But again, it needs some customization and some fine tuning, and you're definitely going to spend some cash just experimenting. So don't be concerned if on Facebook and YouTube you're spending, say, a couple of bucks every day and you're not receiving any results yet, because it will take some experimentation. And even for the successful ad campaigns, it can take a couple of days for them to build momentum and start getting you traffic, which hopefully then turns into sales. And something you might want to experiment with as well is Google AdWords. But for me, this has always actually historically been the lowest performer. So for me, I've always done best with my email list, then next best with Facebook ads, then YouTube ads. And the worst performer for me personally has been Google ads. But I know some producers swear by them, so it's definitely possible to get a good return on investment. You just really need to do your research, and you need to have a pretty sizable budget because Google AdWords is pretty expensive. So I know some of you guys are freaking out. I'm actually getting a few questions. I'm just going to take a little bit of time to answer some of these real quick, and then we're going to move on with the presentation. So Lewis, he's asking me, for TV and films, is that a sync license? And yeah, man, absolutely. TV and film is broadcast usage, so that's a synchronization license. What synchronization means is you're syncing up audio with visual. That's why it's called a sync license in the first place. Whereas a mechanical license, which is selling to artists, is solely audio. And anything that also includes visual element like TV and stuff like that, that's a sync license. But something like radio, because that's solely audio, that's also considered a mechanical non-exclusive license, or at least. So I hope that makes sense, just to clear that up a little bit. All right. Now, obviously, I said that visibility equals revenue. And in order to get visibility, one of the ways to do that is through paid promotion. But honestly, visibility doesn't have to be all that expensive to begin with. And one of the ways that you can really get a lot of free exposure and more visibility is by building your network. And what I mean by that is by setting up your YouTube account, setting up your SoundCloud account, setting up your Facebook fan page, your Twitter, your Snapchat, your Instagram, whatever else it is, and then really fostering a dialogue and a conversation and engaging people actively on those platforms. So it's not just enough to have a YouTube or to have a Facebook and just post on there every time you upload a new beat. What you really want to do is you want to start a conversation, interact with people, ask them questions, post up interesting and useful and funny content sometimes, and really get people talking about you. And what that means on YouTube is not just necessarily posting up beats all the time, but also doing little vlogs or videos or behind the scenes or beat making videos and stuff like that. And just growing your network by interlinking all these sites with each other and just trying to get traffic from all these different sources back to your main site. Now, for me personally, YouTube has been the single biggest driver of traffic and sales to my site. And for me, I started my YouTube channel about 6 years ago. It's youtube.com/8084 or /Anno Domini Beats. And I actually have over 98,000 subscribers and something like 35 million song plays on there now. But I didn't start it up too long ago, and it really took me a long while to get to grips with YouTube and for things to really start rolling and generating income for me. And the way you do it is basically by uploading your music and publishing consistently. And consistency is absolutely key. So you need to establish a regular posting schedule. You can't just upload one beat a month and then maybe 2 weeks later do another one and then 4 weeks later another beat. It's important that you establish a regular schedule and you regularly upload material. And for me personally, YouTube is actually hands down one of the main ways people find and buy my music. So if you don't have a YouTube channel, I highly recommend that you go out and set one up right now. YouTube is actually the single biggest repository for music in the world today, ahead of any other music site. So just think about that for a second. So how do you actually send traffic to your site from YouTube? Well, the way I do it is I always embed a direct link to a piece of music of mine within the video description. And you want to make sure that it's at the very top within the first 2 to 3 lines of your video description, because anything below that is going to be moved down, and your customers need to click on the show more tab in order to actually read the full description. So make sure you have a link to your beat so people can purchase and download it right at the top of your video description on YouTube. And I do that for every single video I upload so that it's super easy for people to discover music. Hopefully they're feeling it, and then they see that purchase link, they just click it and get taken straight to my website. And every single video that I upload now gets hundreds, sometimes even thousands, or in rare cases, millions of views. And every video is almost like a lifelong employee because it's going to be hosted on YouTube forever. Okay? It's not like you post a video and then it disappears, but the video is on there forever for people to discover and find later on. A social media post like on Facebook or Twitter, especially in the case of Twitter, it just kind of disappears very quickly. I'm sure you guys have noticed. So, a Twitter post from 2 years ago, nobody's ever going to find that again. Whereas a YouTube video from 2 years ago is still there, still generating traffic and revenue for you. So if YouTube is so important, let's talk a little bit about how you can blow up your YouTube channel. By the way, guys, if you want to post up your YouTube links, we can do that right after the show as well. So I'd love to do some networking with you guys, and you can sort of give out your YouTube channels. We're going to subscribe to each other, and you can ask me more questions about YouTube as well. But let's just try and save that till the end of the presentation, so we have time to get through everything, because I really want to walk you guys through how to blow up your YouTube and give you a ton more information too. So how do you do it? How do you blow up your YouTube channel? Well, like I said, one of the single most important things for you to do is to post regular content. So I'm talking about maybe 1 beat per day or 1 beat per week, whatever your output is, and make sure you stick to that schedule. So you really want to make sure that you're training your subscribers to always expect and appreciate you posting regular content at the same date or the same time even of that date. And one of the sort of top tips that I have for you guys is to check out tunes2tube.com, which is this sort of website service where you can automatically schedule your releases to YouTube and to SoundCloud at the same time. So you're not wasting a ton of time. For me, I just kind of do this once a week. For the entire week to come, I schedule all my music to be released through YouTube and SoundCloud by visiting Tunes to Tube. And you can schedule everything for the week to come. So you can schedule a release for tomorrow, or for 2 days from now, for 3 days from now, or whatever you want to do. And there's no limit to how much stuff you can schedule or how far in advance. And it's pretty awesome because instead of having to visit YouTube and SoundCloud all the time, every day to upload music, I'll just kind of do this once a week and it automatically posts to both of those sites at the same time. So definitely check that out. Now, if you want to get a lot of traffic on YouTube, the way that the search algorithm works, and it's actually based on the Google search algorithm, is that it crawls your content in 3 main areas. That's going to be the video title that you give, it's going to be the video description that you answer, and it's going to be the video tags. So what you want to make sure to do is to enter some keyword phrases in each one of those 3 sections and repeat them. And sort of the further forward in your video title and description and tags you post them, the more important YouTube sees them as being. So for example, if you just released a new piece of music and it's a Kanye West type beat, then you want to make sure you put Kanye West type beat in front of the actual title of the beat in your video title. And you also want to make sure that you repeat Kanye West type beat in the description and in the tags. And the 3 sort of main groups of keyword phrases that are used and that are sort of gaining the most traffic and are the most useful on YouTube are the type beats, the genres, and the mood, in that order. So with the type beats, I'm talking about if you have a beat that sounds like a particular artist, then you might call it a Wiz Khalifa type beat or a Wiz Khalifa instrumental or something like that. The genre beats are more sort of a pop beat or a hip hop beat or a trap beat. That's what a genre specification is like. And then finally, the mood, which is out of the 3, probably not quite as effective, but can still get you a lot of traffic. That will be something like sad beat. Okay. So if you have a beat and it's called, for example, example beat, right? Then the way you want to write the video title would be, for example, Kanye West type beat, and then in inverted commas, example beat. Okay, and then you want to repeat that again in the video description, maybe in slightly different formulation, and again put that into the tags too. So that's signaling to YouTube that Kanye West type beat is an important thing that it wants to link your video to when people are running searches on YouTube. Now, what's also super important on YouTube is that you use high quality background images or even visualizers, which are those kind of little videos that you've probably seen a bunch of producers use. And the reason for doing that is because when people are browsing through search results, what initially attracts them and what catches their eye isn't the title necessarily, but it's the thumbnail, okay? And what keeps them coming back is high quality videos. So remember, guys, YouTube is not necessarily a music website. It's actually a visual forum for videos. So even though you're posting music on there, you still have to capture people's imagination with an image or with a video. So using high quality background images is very important, especially in the thumbnails. What you guys can also experiment with a little bit is using the annotations and the cards, which are sort of YouTube's way of embedding links directly within your videos. And this is pretty cool because what you can do then is you can use an annotation or a card to actually send people live while they're watching the video to your website to purchase something. So they don't even have to scroll down to read the description. They can just click on it and be directed straight to your site. And that's pretty cool, obviously. It's also a great way to cross-promote between videos. So if you have a really important video or something that you're really trying to get a lot of views for, you can embed a link to another video within that, or even a link to a playlist, for example, your entire list of beats. Some other tips to blow up your YouTube channel is engage with your audience. So again, I kind of mentioned this earlier, but you don't necessarily just want to post up beats, but you want to grow your brand by basically turning yourself into a persona. And you do that by interacting with your fans and your audience. You might want to do some short vlogs, or you might want to do some behind the scenes videos or beat making videos or stuff like that. And I know for some of you guys, maybe you don't feel that confident in front of the camera, or you don't want to necessarily put your face out there. I know some of you producers really thrive on that whole like mystique vibe. But if that's the case, you can always just do, for example, a screenshot video where you're talking and walking people through something. Or if you want, you can even just do a silent video where you're literally just showing yourself creating a beat. So all of that works, and all of it attracts a lot of people. Another great way is to network with other YouTubers. And what you want to do is really just research some of the biggest music producers on YouTube, or even some of the biggest artists out there. And you want to start hitting them up for collaborations, maybe making some beats together with them, maybe finding a way for them to post your music on their side and then linking back to your channel and stuff like that. And what you can also do is you can offer maybe some of your beats for free to big celebrities and artists to use within their videos. And all you ask them for in return is for them to basically add a link to your channel or a subscribe link in their video. And that can be an absolutely amazing way to really quickly grow your network on YouTube. If you want to do a little bit more background reading as well, I actually recommend YouTube's own programs for content creators. They have this whole series of videos that you can watch and training sessions that you can go through, where they kind of teach you how to improve your videos, how to get more views and stuff like that. So it's actually pretty useful. Check that out. Okay, so how is all this actually going to help? Well, let's do some math real quick, okay? Let's imagine, for example, you just posted a beat on YouTube and it gets 1,000 views, okay? And then let's imagine that 10 people watch out of those 1,000, they watch your video, they like the beat, and they click on the link to buy a license for, let's say, at the lowest, 17 bucks for an MP3 license. So what that means is that you've already generated $170 for every single video that you upload. So what if you get more views? Let's say your YouTube's really popping off and you're really getting a ton of views, a ton of traffic. Let's say that each video gets you 10,000 views, okay? Obviously not instantly, but let's say over the period of a couple of months, okay? And then let's imagine that out of those 10,000 views, again, something like 1% or 10% buy from you. Let's say 100 people buy a music license for $17. That means one single video has generated you 1,700 bucks. So you see why this stuff is so powerful now, right? So what I'm talking about here is basically, it's all about building a portfolio of music that's streamable and discoverable online. And what I'm saying really is that it's a numbers game, okay? The more music that you can upload, the more you can potentially earn. And the more views that every single video can get, the more you earn. So that means that the more views that you have, the more people will license your music, and everything kind of builds like a snowball over time. So yes, this isn't an instant thing necessarily, but slowly and surely, as you start posting more and more music, as you start getting more and more traffic, you're going to get more and more people clicking on your purchase links and actually buying music from you. So once you have a huge YouTube channel with tons of subscribers and thousands of views on videos, you're actually making a ton of money. Okay, so just to give you guys a quick example of the kind of stuff that's possible. And I wanted to just kind of throw up a few screenshots of my personal earnings. And I'm not doing this to brag, guys. I just kind of want to give you an idea of what's possible. Because I know a lot of producers kind of struggle with the concept of making a living from music productions and think it's just not viable. But let me tell you that you can absolutely make some great income from selling your licenses online. So on the left here, for example, I took a screenshot from my PayPal account, and it was actually one of my best months selling licenses online. But solely from PayPal, I made $89,929, and this was in August last year, I believe. So that was kind of my best month, and that was largely from YouTube traffic, a little bit of traffic organically from search results and stuff like that. So you can see I had a couple of days there where I was making $24,000, $17,000 in a single day just selling licenses online. In the middle there, I took a screenshot of my Stripe account, and this is our credit card processor. So as well as the PayPal payments, we actually also have some money being collected by Stripe. And over the course of something like a year and a half, I've already collected $300,000 through credit card processing from people buying my beats. Which has been an absolute blessing. So this is something that has really blown up in the past couple of years when I kind of discovered how to really play the numbers game and do all the stuff on YouTube and stuff like that. And then on the far right here, I took a screenshot of my CD Baby account as well, because as well as selling individual licenses, sometimes what I do is I aggregate a couple of beats and I sell beat albums. What that means is basically instead of selling just a single beat, I'll sell, for example, a collection of 20 exclusive instrumentals as a beat album, and I'll release that to, for example, iTunes and Amazon and stuff like that, just to tap, again, into a different customer target audience. These are especially for not necessarily just artists, but also fans and listeners who just appreciate instrumental music and things like that. So you can see on CD Baby to date, I've made over $47,000 just licensing those kind of, just selling those beat albums and collections. So Ralph, thanks for the feedback, man. Emo says this is crazy. And Kelly says, this guy is a beast. Thanks, guys. So really, again, this is just to show you guys what's possible and what you can do selling music online if you know how to do it. All right, let's move on to secret number 2. How do you make passive income with your music? So far, I've been talking a lot about active income, which is where you make a beat, you put it online, you create the music video or the YouTube video, and you actively create an income for yourself. But actually, there's a second way to make money with your music, which is completely passive. And one of the ways to do that is by giving away your music for free. Sounds kind of stupid, right? But absolutely, giving away music for free can be a great way to create passive income for yourself. And I'm going to tell you guys exactly how. So the catch is that you don't really even have to sell your music online to monetize it, because you can actually make a ton of revenue by people streaming your music on sites like Spotify or internet radio like Pandora, or also on SoundCloud and YouTube. So even if people are downloading your music for free and they use it for non-commercial purposes, for example, in films or videos or for songs that they release, you can actually make money through things like advertising and through streaming revenue. Particularly, one of the biggest and most well-known programs of advertising is YouTube's Content ID. I'm sure a lot of you guys have probably heard about this before. And the way it works is you can actively make money on YouTube by ads being shown in your own videos. And then, you get paid by Google a percentage of everyone who sees that ad or clicks on it. But you can also make money passively by other people uploading your music or using it in their videos. And then you can also earn money from the advertising in someone else's upload. So that's pretty cool, right? The way it works basically is that advertisements, they show up on the video, often sort of before the pre-roll credits, or sometimes at the end, or sometimes you even see an advertisement next to your video on YouTube or also on SoundCloud these days. And the way it works is that you get paid a percentage whenever somebody clicks on it or sees the ad. And the cool thing is, if somebody else is uploading your music, if you're giving it away for free with the caveat that you get to obviously collect the advertising income, then you're going to make money from every single person on YouTube and on the internet that is posting your music anywhere at all. That's pretty cool, right? So yes, I personally do give away music for free too. And a lot of producers, they see this, that I'm giving away 100 free beats for people to sign up to my music list, and they think I'm absolutely nuts. But now that you kind of understand how Content ID works, maybe you understand why I do that, okay? Not only do I get people signing up to my music list because they want the 100 free beats, and it's a crazy offer, but I also have all these artists who get to use my beats for free, but I get to keep the ad revenue from them posting all their stuff on SoundCloud and YouTube. Does that make sense? So I'm actually passively making a ton of income from artists just using my beats for free. And I think it's a fair trade-off, because they get to use the beats, they get to make songs, they get to grow their fan base, but I get to keep the advertising income. So it's kind of a win-win situation. And this is why this is such a beautiful model, because in a sense, everybody is winning. So what I'm saying basically is free music equals passive income. And if you want to start benefiting from Content ID, especially on YouTube, then one of the easiest ways to do it, and the way that I do it, is through BeatStars Content ID program. But by no means is that the only way that you can do the distribution and Content ID. There's also a ton of other services out there, like, for example, CD Baby. There's also Rumblefish, Ingrooves, TuneCore, and a whole lot more. So yes, you can upload your beats absolutely to any of those sites and do the same thing. But the reason I do it through BeatStars is because I already have my beats on BeatStars, selling them, so I can instantly just put all of those beats into the distribution system and start passively making income. I don't have to bother uploading them onto 2 different sites. So again, it's just a big time saver. So then, one more time, for those of you guys who maybe didn't quite understand how this works. How can you make money with Content ID? Basically, someone, it doesn't have to be you, it can be anyone out there, uploads a video that contains your music production. YouTube matches that song to your copyright, and they automatically show ads on that video that was uploaded by someone else. And then you get paid out 100% of the ad revenue by YouTube for that video, even though it's not your video. So the cool thing is that your income is basically continuously growing. So what I'm saying is the more your brand grows and the more people start to use your music and songs and trailers and stuff and videos on YouTube, the more ad revenue you'll get paid every single month. And it is always a monthly payout. And the beauty of that is that it's 100% passive income. So it's in addition to all the licensing that you're already doing. Okay? You don't have to do anything extra. You're just monetizing what you already own. So you don't have to sell anything. You just make money basically passively, and it keeps growing over time. That's pretty cool, right? So just to give you an example of what kind of income you can make, this is a screenshot from my own personal BeatStars account. And you can see from my streaming services, this was one of my best months back in June last year, where sort of a lot of advertising is being spent on YouTube as well. So you'll probably see that your advertising income fluctuates throughout the year, and summer and building up to winter is one of the most busiest times. But for one single month, I made $4,492 passively just by monetizing the beats that I already have without doing anything extra, okay? And the majority of that came from YouTube Content ID. There was a little bit of streaming income from sites like Sound Exchange, Spotify, SoundCloud, and so on too. But just imagine for a second that you could passively make an extra $4,000 doing nothing at all, just by making the beats that you make anyway and just by selling them as you usually do. So this is completely extra additional income in your pocket every month. It's pretty sweet, right? John is feeling it. Kenny as well. Shout out to you guys. James as well. All right, so that is one part of passive income. Let's talk about another part, which is the royalty income. I know a good amount of producers don't really understand how royalties work. So just to break it down for you guys real quick, basically, every single time that your music gets played on the internet, on radio, on TV, or doing a live performance show in a venue, then you are due royalties. All right? In addition to everything else, in addition to the licensing costs, in addition to whatever other sort of money you were given, for example, upfront to do a live show, you are also due on the back end royalties. So as well as artists, you can actually license your production music for usage in movies or in TV shows or in advertisements by companies. And that's going to start generating you additional royalty income too. And the key really here is to find a really good rep or an agency. Because if you start getting into this whole music licensing for TV thing by yourself, you're probably going to find you spending your entire life just trying to pursue that. And it can be pretty cutthroat and difficult to find the right connects and start building your network. So I would recommend that you find a really good rep who's going to represent your catalog of music, or you find a really good agency. And my personal preference and advice to you guys is to always find an independent rep or a boutique agency. Because if you start working with a really big rep who is representing thousands of clients, or you go with one of the major agencies, someone like Pump Audio or Audio Jungle or something like that, then they're already going to have thousands of clients, and they're not necessarily going to give any extra effort into trying to place your song specifically, because they're already working with so many different people. Does that make sense? So they're probably not going to give you the time of day, whereas a small independent or boutique agency, they're going to throw everything they've got into placing your songs actively. Now, if you're going after royalties, the most efficient way that you can get paid out is by joining a performance rights organization or a PRO. And if you're in the US, the big two main ones are BMI and ASCAP. If you're in the UK, that would be the PRS, or if you're in Germany, that would be GEMA. So if you're a music producer and you're not a part of a PRO, I would highly recommend that you sign up. It's usually free, or there's just a very small admissions charge. So there's really no reason not to. And you want to start registering all your works with your PRO so that other artists and other companies can find you through the PRO, can register you, and can start paying you royalties. Now, obviously, in order to do that, you also want to make sure that you always provide your clients with your registration info. So when you sign up for a PRO, you're going to be given a CAE or an IPI number, which is basically your registration number, and how they can identify you and match you with a certain piece of music. So you want to make sure that in your licensing contract to your clients, whether they're broadcasters or artists or whatever else, you always include that information so that they can find you and they can start paying you royalties, which you'll do. So just to give you an example of how a royalty payout report looks, on the right here, I used to be with CSAC. I'm not actually with them anymore. I'm with ASCAP now because they pay out higher and quicker in my personal experience. But you can see if you have, for example, one beat placed on a TV show, like here back in 2013, I was having a bunch of beats played on Tia and Tamara on VH1. For some reason, they love my stuff in those cheesy kind of daytime soap operas and reality TV shows. But, you know, whatever pays the bills, right? And you can see every single time that one of my pieces of music gets played on TV, even if it's just a couple of seconds, you're going to start accumulating royalties. And it might just be sort of a couple of dollars every time. But this is actually page one of, I think it was like 32. So you can imagine if you have 32 pages of these like $2 or $3 payments, it starts adding to a really sizable amount. And likewise, if you have a movie and if you have a piece of music in a major movie or a major TV show by someone like Universal or Sony or something like that, the royalties really can start stacking up. So this was a 27 grand check that I got from Universal a while back. So again, you know, royalties can absolutely amass to a huge amount of revenue for you. So you do not want to be missing out on that. Don't just focus on selling licenses. Make sure you're getting your back-end royalties paid out to you too. Okay. Some quick questions. Kaylin says ASCAP is the best PRO. I agree with that. A lot of guys are actually with BMI, but my personal preference has always been ASCAP because they pay out slightly better rates and they're quicker and they have a much better customer service, in my opinion. But that's just me. Nicola is asking me, is this pre-recorded? Well, the fact that I'm reading out your question obviously means it's not. I'm actually here live, and I'm going to come on the camera a bit later too, just so you guys can chat to me too. So yeah, it's 100% live. The reason I'm not answering that many questions live is because it's hard for me to make the presentation and give you guys all the knowledge and all the information, and at the same time try and look into the chat and answer everything. So if it's cool with you guys, just save the questions until the very end, and I promise I will take as much time out as I need and as you guys need to answer everything. Sound good? Okay, let's come on to secret number 3. How do you get to sell your music and make passive income and active income fast right now? So what it really comes down to, of course, is to the quality of your music production. Even if you have all the knowledge in the world, if you have all of the marketing knowledge, all of the promotion, you know, everything else is in place, you have the network, you have the customers, but if your music sucks, if you don't have the quality, then obviously you're not going to start making a lot of income. It doesn't really matter if everything else is in place. If your beats suck, then, you know, you're not going to get placements. You're not going to have a lot of YouTube traffic and stuff like that. So in a way, I guess this should really be secret number 1. How you blow up as a music producer is basically, in order to build a brand fast and make good money, you have to have good quality. That makes sense, right? You can have all the knowledge, the best marketing, you can have huge drive and determination and will, but if you have poor quality production, then obviously you're not going to get a lot of views and you're not going to get a lot of sales. So I hate to say it, you know, I never consider myself the best music producer, but I do stand for quality productions. And that is obviously important if you're going to start turning your love of music into a really good revenue generating income. So obviously the most important asset that you have as a music producer is the melodies and the sounds that you create. And a good producer really can work with any digital audio workstation, but a producer is only ever going to be as good as the sounds and the harder virtual instruments that he or she uses to produce the music. So if you really want to maximize your revenue potential as a music producer, then you really want to always compose quality beats. And you should always compose your own music with high quality presets. Or of course, you want to use 100% royalty-free sounds and samples. So the reason for that is if you want to get into, for example, sync licensing, they're not going to be wanting to mess around with any kind of clearance issues or stuff like that. So it's really important that you try and compose your own melodies. Yes, I used to be a sample-based producer myself when I was solely sort of making beats for artists. But if you really want to get into content ID, which again, you're not allowed to submit any kind of sampled material for, or if you really want to build up passive income from royalties, then it has to be royalty-free. It has to be fully composed. Personally, I don't ever use any kind of factory default sounds. I don't use really any samples anymore. What I do have and use is a huge collection of sort of high quality production sounds. I actually have a huge collection of drum kits, and I constantly kind of go through and delete old stuff that I don't need. But right now, it's something like 276 gigabytes of stuff that I use. And when I'm talking about these kind of kits that I use, I'm talking about preset banks, only really high quality ones made by top producers. I use sometimes I use loop packs and MIDI packs just for kind of instant inspiration as a jumping off point to create really high quality beats. And of course, I also use some drum packs, some drum loops, and sort of short stabs and hits and things like that. So for me, actually, these days, I mainly make my music productions on just a laptop. I use a MIDI controller. Sometimes when I'm on the road, I just use like a little Korg Micro or something like that, or an MPK Mini. And then the only other thing you want is obviously some high quality speakers or some high quality headphones to do your mixing. But apart from that, what you really want is just a high quality collection of the best sounds. So it seems pretty obvious to say this, but even the best studio engineer can't turn poor quality sounds into high quality music. So even if you're a really dope mixing engineer, if you're using shitty factory default settings from your digital audio workstation, you guys know what I'm talking about, like those standard like FL Studio banks and stuff like that, then no matter how great you are, even if you're a great composer, even if you have all the drive in the world, you're not really going to be making many waves in the music production industry and selling a lot of stuff. So I get asked all the time by people, what kits do I use? You know, what sounds do I use to make the beats that I use? So I just wanted to give you guys a few leads into what kind of stuff I'm using right now. And these are all sort of brand new kits and stuff that I've been using very recently. And actually that my whole multi-platinum team of producers uses too. So I kind of got their input as well. And if you want to write this stuff down, you're more than welcome to. Just get out a piece of paper and a pen, or of course your mobile phone, since it's the 21st century. So these are some of the kits that I love and use. For instant inspiration, I really love the Too Deep sample packs. And when I say sample packs here, what I mean is 100% royalty-free samples that were composed by professional musicians. And I just love kind of chopping these up. If you're a sample-based producer, you can still use these samples almost like you would like a record or something like that. Just chop them up, flip them, add things. They're 100% royalty-free, so you can create your own beats with them. And the Gravediggers kits are really cool, as are the Dope Samples kits. I'm sure a bunch of you people already know those. I also love Machine Masters kits. They have some really dope ones like the Trapanese, which is a really cool collection of kind of trap inspired with kind of Oriental influences. A really great sample pack. I've heard a ton of great beats being made with that. I also really love their Ghetto Gospel series. I'm sure you guys know that if you kind of follow them at all on social media or have been to their website. For high quality drums, I mentioned Jules Jaden earlier. Remember, guys, I'm giving you a free 808 pack from Jules Jaden actually as a thank you for showing up. But he has some absolutely incredible drum samples and drum sounds that I use all the time in my beats. And actually my co-producers do too. People like, you know, Life and Death Productions, Century Status and stuff like that. Also a bunch of colleagues of mine like Superstar O, who actually helped me host the previous webinar that I did last year. So they use these kind of drum samples too. And I really love the Jules Jaden Trapped in Love series. You guys probably know Hellfire Beats as well. He has a ton of major sort of credits to his name. And he has this series called UAD drums that are really dope. And also I love the Steve Lawrence kits, which are the Soul Trap In and stuff like that. For loops and sounds, I use the Producer Loops kits a lot. They have some really high quality stuff. Just as like a jumping off point again. If I want to use MIDI kits, I love the Source God and MIDI Gold loop kits from Too Deep. Some really great MIDI melodies in there. And for those of you who have never messed with MIDI melodies before, the way it works is you just import these into your DAW, and you're going to have the actual chord progression and notes mapped out for you. And then you can just kind of cycle through your various sound banks and stuff like that, find something that sounds dope, and then change some notes and melodies. It's just a great kind of jumping off point if you don't always necessarily have your own melodies in mind, or, you know, you guys have probably experienced producer's block at some point. Gerald is saying Splice is nice. Yeah, they have some dope stuff as well for, you know, individually licensed samples and sounds and stuff like that. James is asking me, what kind of VSTs do you use? I actually use Silent One a lot. I also use the Contact from Native Instruments a lot. I have quite a few libraries from Contact. And what else do I use? Yeah, that's pretty much, those are the two main ones. I use Massive sometimes as well. They have some cool samples. What about you guys? Kelly's saying Venge Synth. I don't even know what that is. Omnisphere is a dope one too. Yeah, I agree. Prototype 8. I agree on that one. All right, so in a way, I guess this is the industry's dirty little secret, in the sense that most world-renowned producers do use high-quality sound banks, construction kits, drum kits, and VSTI presets to make their music sound as good as it does. So you can 100% believe me that producers in the high-end studios, they're not sitting there recording every single instrument and every single drum sample every single time they create a beat. That would just be ridiculous. And there's already such a huge pool of really great sounds out there that you can just use, maybe edit a little bit and tweak and layer on top of each other to sound really big and fat. So the reason I know this is because, well, I personally know a lot of huge producers. I know most people in the music production community. Obviously, I have my own team of producers too. And just from being in the studio with all these people, I know that they all kind of have their favorite sounds, their favorite presets, their favorite drum kits and stuff that they use over and over again. So if you really want to become a top league music producer, then obviously you need top league sounds. You need access to the same kind of samples, the same kind of settings that they use. You don't want to be stuck with those outdated factory default settings. So why does that matter? Okay. Here's why having professional sounds is so important. First of all, obviously, your music is going to sound much better. And what that means is that obviously your music is going to gain more attention and it's going to gain more views online. And in turn, that again means that more customers are going to be buying licenses to your music because it sounds dope, because it's visible. You know, we talked about visibility earlier, and because it's getting attention and clicks and traffic. And what that means is more people are obviously going to use your music actively, so you get paid more. Not just actively through licensing, but also passively through content ID and royalties and stuff like that. So again, it's just that one big snowball, basically. So what I'm saying basically is that better sounds equals bigger revenue. That makes sense, right? So in a way, we've kind of come full circle. We've discussed how you can make more revenue by licensing more. We've talked about how you can make passive income by basically content ID and royalties and cool stuff like that. And then we've sort of discussed and come to the conclusion that obviously you need great sounds and great beats to begin with in order for all of this to snowball and really grow for you guys. All right. So I'm just going to take a breather for a second. Just let me ask you guys, who has got some value out of the presentation so far today? I'm really hoping that I inspired a couple of you guys to really rethink your whole strategy as music producers. Sort of not just looking at music production as making a beat, posting it online, and then waiting for the sales to come in. But instead, what I really want you guys to do is to be more proactive. I want you to start thinking about how you can make passive income from content ID, how you can start getting paid royalties, how you can start getting your music into movies, into TV, and stuff like that. So let me know if you learned something today so far. Awesome. Matt says he loves it. Walter really enjoyed it. Quentin as well. Appreciate you guys very much. So that means a lot to me. Jermaine liked it. Marcel as well. Appreciate that, guys. So if it's all right with you guys, I just want to talk about one thing real quick for you. And again, before I do that, just as a thank you for showing up, of course, you are going to get the 808 source pack at the end. Because speaking of sound quality, I really want you guys to go away today. I want you to feel inspired to make beats and really create something awesome. So no matter what happens, I want you to go away, create some awesome beats, and have the highest sound quality, which I personally use too. So these are the top of the range 808 sounds. But for everyone who kind of wants to take it one step further, the guys who don't just want to show up, get some free knowledge, and get the free kit, what I actually did was to really progress things and take you guys to the next level is I've decided to bundle all of the kits and sounds that I personally use and put them together as a special bundle package for you guys. So as you know, this whole thing, I presented it thanks to Machine Masters and Producer Loops. And I kind of talked to all my colleagues and pulled some strings, and I want to put something together for you guys. It's a huge collection of sounds and products. And again, this is only for the producers who really want to take things up a notch and really want to get the top of the range sounds. So thanks to our sponsors, Producer Loops and Machine Masters, I put together an incredible collection of sounds and kits from all my best friends in the music production community, all my top colleagues. It's not going to be free. but I managed to get a huge discount for you guys. So for those of you interested, let me just walk you through that real quick. So I put together in this kit basically 10 exclusive kits from machinemasters.com, which means they're only available through their website. And these are sort of their top of the range 10 exclusive kits that people buy from them and get from them, and that I personally use in my kits too. So in this bundle, I'm going to be including the Aquatic Soul Sound Collection, Volume 1, which is a really dope collection of various sounds and samples. Also, Booney Tunes Volume 4. You guys probably have heard of this one. The Booney Tunes series is huge. Also, the 46 Machine expansions. I know a bunch of you guys probably use Machine, am I right? A couple of Machine users in the group. That's cool. Also included is the J57, which is a really dope producer, is the Tim's and North Face Volume 2. Usually, most of these kits, by the way, usually retail for something like $30. You can see there the prices from the website. Also, the Marvelous Breaks Volume 2, which is some really dope drum breaks for all of you boom bap producers and hip hop producers. You probably love throwing in some breaks. Also for dubstep and drum and bass, these are really great. And the Trapanese sample pack is also going to be included in this big bundle. I talked about that earlier. There's kind of some trap-inspired Oriental samples that you can flip and use on your beats. The very latest Ghetto Gospel 5 sample pack. I love the Ghetto Gospel series, and this is the very latest one. It's absolutely dope. And also some extra sound collections, and of course the Hellfire Beats drum collection, which I personally use in my beats. So all of that is going to be included in the bundle for you guys if you're interested. So if you add all of that together, the 10 exclusive kits from Machine Masters, it's actually a value of $319.90, which is pretty substantial. But I'm also going to include some cool stuff from our sponsors at Producer Loops. And they really hooked me up on this one because they gave me their top-of-the-line kit, which I personally use as well, and I absolutely love. Included in the bundle is going to be the Commercial Hip Hop Volume 3 collection, which are sort of construction kits and loop packs, specifically for hip-hop composers, and specifically for that really kind of modern, poppy hip-hop sound. And also included is Future R&B Volume 1 and Volume 2. So for you guys who are really into that kind of Drake, OVO-inspired sound, there's going to be some amazing loops and samples in there, which I think you're going to love. And usually these kits from Producer Loops, they're pretty high-end, so they retail for over $30. There's also going to be the Killer House and EDM drums included. So I know some of you guys probably make some electronic music too. Am I right? So these drums are actually really dope for EDM-inspired productions. They're really dope for house music and any kind of electronic stuff too. So really love these. You're also going to get Essential Future Bass Volume 1. I know one thing that a lot of producers struggle with is composing a dope bass line. So I think this is something that you're really going to be into. You're also going to get actually the New Deep House Bundle. In a way, this isn't just a single kit because you're getting volumes 1, 2, and 3. So actually combined on the site, they're selling this for $144. But it's all going to be included in the kit bundle for you guys, for all you house producers. And also we have Blackbird Music Essentials R&B. Do you guys know Blackbird? If you don't, you definitely need to check out his music. He's incredible. He's made beats for people like Lady Gaga, Rihanna, Justin Bieber, and stuff like that. So he's kind of top of the range R&B producer. And his entire sort of debut kit is included in the bundle too. Very cool stuff. So in total in the bundle, we have the Machine Masters 10 exclusive kits with a value of $319.90. And the 10 exclusive kits, which you can only find usually at Producer Loops, with a combined value of $456.64. So in total, you're already getting a value of $776.54. Pretty sweet, right? But and this is where it gets a little bit ridiculous. But as well as those 10 exclusive kits from Machine Masters and 10 from Producer Loops, I've also thrown in 25 unreleased kits from my own site from Modern Producers. And when I say unreleased, I mean literally you cannot find these on Modern Producers normally. They're not even released yet, okay? And this is the kind of stuff that I love using because nobody else has it yet. It's completely kind of unreleased and exclusive. And these are some really dope kits. Some of these are continuations of best-selling series like Trapped in Love Volume 4, which is not even out yet, but you're going to get it inside this loop pack. It's pretty cool. Also, some really cool continuation series like the legendary Volume 2 Contact Bank by DJ Shardy P. Shout out to him. Some really awesome sounds and presets you can get for Contact if you have that. A huge collection of drum kits and loop kits and just a whole load of insane stuff. For example, we have the Insane Asylum kits, which are some really dark, dirty, and grimy drum kits and drum loops by Verbal, who's a top-of-the-range producer. He makes beats for people like Tech9, Wu-Tang Clan, and stuff like that. You're also going to get, for example, the Dope Samples Volume 2. I know a ton of people love Dope Samples Volume 1, and this one is actually completely unreleased. And that's a collection of 10 royalty-free samples for you to flip in the styles of, popular, for example, it sounds a bit like movie scores and sort of progressive rock tracks and stuff. But again, 100% composed and royalty-free for you to flip and use in your beats. And just a ton more of material, like, for example, the Teflon Drums Contact Library, the Trap Soul Volume 1 Silent Bank, for you guys wanting to make those kind of trap soul inspired Bryson Tiller type beats. Some really cool stuff. There's a Trap Electra Bank and also a drum kit called Trappin' Hard at the Bando. And for those of you guys who love the Compton kit that we recently had on Modern Producers, there's actually a new one called Compton Walk-In for those kind of West Coast beats. Some really cool melodies and stuff like that. So in the bundle that we're giving away today, you're going to get the 10 exclusive kits from Machine Masters. You're going to get the 10 exclusive kits from Producer Loops, and you're going to get 25 unreleased kits from Modern Producers, which you cannot find live. They're completely unreleased. And when we release them, the value is going to be $730.51. So in total, we're talking about a stacked value of $1,507.05. But that's not it, because I wanted to throw in a couple of cool bonus kits and content for all you guys who really want to take their music production career to the next level. So I'm actually going to include something that's very cool. It's a FL Studio mixer preset. I know probably a bunch of you guys use FL Studio. It's kind of the preferred digital audio workstation for a lot of hip-hop producers, trap producers, and stuff like that. So these mixer presets are something that you can apply to the FL Studio mixer. And there's a ton of different specifications and different ways that you can select sounds. They're kind of aggregated, for example, some 808 mixer presets, some kick drum mixer presets, or some snare drum mixer presets. And each one of those is subcategorized into, for example, a grimy kit or a snappy kit or like a trap snare drum or like a soft snare drum. So you literally just drop this into your mixer and it's going to instantly apply those settings. And, it's really cool to just kind of experiment around with and like test with. You can get some really crazy results. You're also going to get a 10 ebook series. These are all kind of written by me and my team. And there's some really cool stuff in there. For example, how you can create a social media empire and really blow up your Twitter and your Facebook. There's also some more psychologically influenced ones, like how you have that $1 million mindset to really take you to the next level. Also some more generic stuff. For example, the top 10 ways for producers to make money with beats, which is almost like an expanded version of the webinar. Also some really cool stuff like how to double your fan base on Facebook and how to make money with music as an independent artist and so on. Also, as a little bonus, I'm throwing in some coupons from some of our partners. So if you guys feel inspired to try out My Flash Store or BeatStars to just kind of see which one works for you best, I'm actually going to give you a free 1-month professional unlimited account for both of those. So usually that's $19.99 a month, but that's going to be thrown in for you guys too, so you can try them out and just test them. I'm also going to give you a 40% discount for ImageLine, which are the creators of FL Studio. So if you don't actually have a digital audio workstation like FL Studio, for example, then I'm going to give you a 40% off discount voucher to get that, which is pretty crazy. So they really hooked me up. And also, obviously, they have a ton of presets and extra VSTs and stuff that you can buy from them. And you're also going to get a lifetime 40% discount coupon for modernproducers.com, which is pretty sweet, right? And the final bonus that I'm throwing in too is I'm going to give you all of the Producer Loops bestsellers in one big folder. And you're going to get a little sample kit of every single one of them. So you can kind of go through, there's everything from drum and bass stuff to deep house to chill out, even some metal rock stuff and some drum and bass. And there's going to be little sample kits of every single one of those kits from their bestsellers list. It's pretty sweet, right? So actually, if you add all of that up, so far in this bundle that I've put together for you guys, we have the 10 exclusive kits from Machine Masters worth $319.90. We have the 10 exclusive kits from Producer Loops worth $456.64. The 25 unreleased kits from Modern Producers worth $730.51. And now we have the bonus kits and the content as well, worth $748.95. So in total, we're looking at a combined value of $2,256. Just to kind of give you a couple more things to really take your production career to the professional level, I'm also going to throw in a free custom beat tag for you, where basically a beat tag is a little short vocal snippet that you can put throughout your beat to kind of protect it from beat jackers and stuff like that. And we're going to have our DJ in the studio recording these for every single person who wants to get the package. And obviously, this is going to professionalize you. It's going to also brand your music, because you probably heard like a bunch of these big name producers like DJ Mustard and all these guys, Just Blaze. They all have like a little short vocal snippet in their beats, and it's just a great way to brand yourself. So I'm going to throw in one of those for you too. And usually these cost $19.99, but I'm going to add it on top of all the other stuff you're getting. So we're looking at a combined value of $2,275.99. And just one more final little surprise for you as well. This is really for you guys who want to take it to a serious level and really develop yourself as a producer. You might have heard of my special program, my special producer development program called the Platinum Circle. And every single person who gets the bundle today is going to be invited into this tight-knit community of platinum producers. And you're basically going to get access to my entire Rolodex of industry contacts and placement opportunities. So as a member of the Platinum Circle, you're going to be invited to basically a secret club. It's actually a Facebook page and a members website where I constantly post up new placement opportunities for major artists. Also, when my clients, for example, TV shows and movies are looking for beats for placements and shows and stuff like that, I make that available to the Platinum Circle program. And the cool thing about it is that you also get personal coaching sessions from me regularly, just like this one. And there's actually a ton of training videos from previous sessions already waiting for you to be watched. Everything from kind of blowing up your YouTube more in depth, to setting up SoundCloud, to blowing up your BeatStars account, and Facebook advertising, and a whole lot more. So usually, if I put a price tag on the coaching sessions alone, for me personally, the amount of sort of time and dedication you're getting, then usually I would charge about $1,997 for that. So actually, what you're getting today in today's bundle for music producers is the 10 exclusive kits from Machine Masters, the 10 exclusive kits from Producer Loops, the 25 unreleased kits from Modern Producers, the bonus kits and content, the custom beat tag, and the Platinum Circle access with the coaching from me, with a combined value of $4,272.99. And I promise that's it, guys. I know that's a huge amount of stuff. But just a quick little warning for you guys. If any of you do want to pick up this bundle of products and kits and services, it's only going to be available for the duration of this live webinar. That's it. So it's only exclusively available as a thank you for you guys for showing up and showing to me that you're obviously dedicated in what you do. So let me ask you a quick question. Basically, if you got this bundle and all it did was allow you to make some better sounding music, to go away, to make some dope beats, do you think it would be worth it? And if all it allowed you to do was to make more money by selling your music, using all the sounds and services and kits that I give you today, would it be worth it for you? And if all the bundle did was to let you build a bigger fan base and make passive income from your music, do you think it would be worth it? So would it really be worth $4,272.99 to you? Well, the deal I have for you is actually a lot better than that, because the entire collection of sounds, of kits, of services for $347 today only. And for those of you who really want to take their music production career to the next level and get some amazing dope kits, which I personally use and my production colleagues use, then you can do that right now by going to producerevent.com/go. It's a 93% off discount from the retail price. So instead of over $4,270, you're only paying $347. That's it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop the offer into the chat room for anyone who's interested. So you can go and grab that right now. Again, you're going to get the 10 exclusive kits from Machine Masters, which are usually only available from their website, and are their best of the best kits, with a sort of value from their website of $319.90. You're also going to get 10 exclusive kits only available from Producer Loops. And these are brand new stuff that you can only find there, with a combined value of $456.64. You're also going to get 25 unreleased kits from my own site, from Modern Producers, which you cannot find anywhere else because they're not even available to the general public. So you guys are going to be the first people to ever own these kits and use them for your music. And there's some seriously dope sounds in there, which I've been experimenting with and starting to make beats with. And usually when we release these kits, they're going to have a combined value of $730.51. In addition, you're also going to get a ton of bonuses. You're going to get the bonus kits I mentioned, including the FL Studio Mixer presets and the Producer Loops collection of bestsellers. And you're also going to get the ebook series and all the other good stuff with a combined value of $748.95. I'm also going to throw in a custom beat tag made just for you, recorded by a DJ, which usually is worth $19.99. And finally, you're also going to get the Platinum Circle access, where you get access to my personal contacts, to all of the placement opportunities that come my way, and you're going to get personal coaching and training videos from me. So usually that would be worth $1,997 if I was selling it to the general public. So a combined value of $4,272.99 of stuff you're getting for just $347. So for anybody who's interested, you can just head on over to producerevent.com/go right now. This is live right now. This is the only time you're going to be able to get it. So again, the special offer is only going to be live until the end of the live webinar. And I'm actually just going to be hosting the webinar for another 27 minutes. You probably saw a little timer bar pop up. So at the end of that, it's going to be gone. If you want to grab it, you don't have to. But if you want to seriously get a huge amount of value and really step it up, then go to producerevent.com/go. I know some of you guys are probably looking at that thinking this is pretty dope, but I just don't have the money right now. So if it does help some of you guys, I'm actually also going to offer a 3 monthly installment payment plan. So all you need right now, if you don't have $347, is $147. And then basically it's a subscription. So there's going to be 3 monthly payments of $147. And that's obviously perfect for anyone who wants to hop on board, but doesn't necessarily have the cash saved up. So if that's an option for you, just head over to producerevent.com/go. I've popped up the link in your chat room as well for instant access. And you'll see a little link for the payment plan on there too. Now, as with anything I do, I really want you guys to be happy. So that's the most important thing. So that's why I always give a 30-day money back guarantee. So if you get this kit today, this huge bundle of services and kits, which I know you're going to love, but if for any reason, you don't even have to let me know why, but if for any reason you don't like it or you want your money back, then I'll refund you guys instantly, okay? So I don't care about the money as much as I care about you guys being happy. So again, a warning, the special offer is only going to be available until the end of this live webinar, which is going to be in 26 minutes. I'm just about to take a bit more time to answer questions, go over through anything that you guys want to talk about. But basically, the offer is going to be going away within 26 minutes when we end the live webinar. So if you want it, just head over to producerevent.com/go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening in. I really appreciate it. Once again, if you want to get this offer, the $4,200 worth of stuff, you can go to producerevent.com/go. And the reason, obviously, that I'm charging for this stuff and why it costs something is because I need to pay out our sponsors and all the creators of these amazing kits. So I already managed to sort of negotiate an incredible deal for you guys. I'm offering all of my personal coaching and services as bonuses, but all of the kits I actually need to pay these guys for. So if you were to go to their websites, you'd be paying thousands of dollars, but instead I'm making it all available for $347 just today. All right. I really appreciate you guys listening in. So thank you so much to everybody who came to the webinar today. And I just want to kind of open the floor to any kind of questions you have or anything you want to discuss, any concerns or any ideas, any questions you have about music licensing, about content ID, about passive income, active income, anything at all. I'm here for you guys for another 20 minutes or so. So Dino was asking me, will you be offering other things like this in the future? Not this kit, no. Not this exclusive producer bundle. This is the only time that I'm offering it during these live webinars. So as soon as the webinar ends today, I'm actually going to take that link offline. So if you do want to get it, I highly recommend that you go get that right now. It's a 93% off deal, and it's a huge amount of value. So I definitely hooked you guys up. I hope you can appreciate that and enjoy the kits and services. Bubble B is asking me, I want to know if you get an payment plan option. Yeah, man, I actually mentioned this earlier. If you go to producerevent.com/go, there's going to be a link on there, and you just click on it, and it's going to take you to a separate checkout page where you can do the payment plan, which is just $147 upfront today, and then you pay the rest off in 3 monthly installments. So that's definitely an option if you don't have the money right now but want to grab the kits. Brenda's asking me, my question before was, how do you make money on ads without pissing off the artist, I think is what she said. So this is actually pretty simple, because if you're giving away your beats for free for non-profit use, by virtue of it being non-profit use, it already means that the artist is not allowed to monetize his own videos, which means that you have the right to monetize the videos. So to me, it's actually pretty fair that you're giving away your beats for free and the artists get to use them, they get to post them, they get to share them with their friends and grow their fan base, but you get to collect the advertising income. So you're always going to get a few artists who might be upset that all of a sudden they're getting copyright claims on their videos, but you just need to explain to them that the copyright claim doesn't affect their video or their channel in any way. All it means is that they're acknowledging the fact that they can't monetize their video with advertising because they don't own the rights to it. So I think that's a pretty fair situation. Sure, some artists might get upset, but I think it's pretty fair. What do you guys think? Daniel is asking me, am I going to do this offer on Sunday's webinar? Yeah, I don't know yet, to be honest with you. I'll have to speak to my sponsors. I'm not sure how long I'm allowed to even make this available because it's a pretty crazy deal. You can imagine that Machine Masters and Producer Loops and Modern Producers, they don't want to devalue their stuff. So giving away their kits for 93% off is already pretty crazy. So if you do want to grab it, then I highly recommend doing it today because I can't guarantee how long it's going to be available. Some more questions, guys. All right. Shakim is saying, I'm having trouble buying it. So I don't know exactly what your issue is, but if you want to send me a personal message later, or maybe I can help you out. I think on the payment page, you can select either a credit card or you can select PayPal. So if for some reason the credit card checkout is giving you problems, then I would recommend just clicking on the PayPal link. And then through PayPal, you can actually pay with credit card too, if that's what you want to do. So you don't have to just pay with your PayPal accounts. By the way, guys, if you want to get this bundle, but you don't have the money, but you do have a PayPal account, then if you're based in the US, sometimes it will allow you to pay with what's called a PayPal loan or a PayPal working capital or something like that. So that should pop up as an option on the checkout page. So that's something you might want to look into. All right, Mark is asking, is it in US? Yes, so the price is in US dollars, 347 US dollars. I don't know where you're from, but I'm assuming in euros, that's something like 300 euros. All right, some more questions. Let's see. Johnny is asking me, curious to get started with sync licensing. So if you want to get into sync licensing, the top thing that you want to get started with right now is to obviously offer a sync license for sale on your website. So if you're using BeatStars or My Flash Store, you can actually create custom licenses and custom sales that you can set up yourself. And all you want to do is create a sync license, obviously type up the contract that is for broadcast usage and stuff like that. And then you can start advertising your beats, not just to artists, but also to broadcasters, to YouTube video makers and stuff like that. So you can actually actively go out there and start marketing your stuff to, for example, YouTube channels. They're happy to pay often like a sync license, which means they can monetize their video on YouTube. The other way to get into sync licensing, like I said, is to try and look up a rep or a music supervisor or an agency that is going to represent your catalog. And you want to basically network with them, send them regular music. Hopefully they'll pick it up to license to their clients. And they obviously have access to the big channels like CBS, like Fox, like ABC and stuff like that, who constantly need new music. So that's one way of getting into the sync licensing game too. John is asking me, how do I get that 808 kit? So again, after the webinar, which is going to end in about 20 minutes, I'm going to be giving you guys the free 808 kit. So that's completely free. I'm going to be throwing up the download link right here as soon as we take off the offer. But again, if you want to grab the 347 exclusive producer kit bundle, it's only going to be available for another 19 minutes while we're live here. So for you producers, I know a ton of you guys really take music production seriously. You understand the value of sounds and you understand the value of the services I'm offering. So if you want to grab the $347 bundle, just head over to producerevent.com/go. Just to kind of reiterate one more time, what you're getting in the kit is basically 10 exclusive kits from our sponsors over at Machine Masters. Some really dope stuff in there, some kits that I personally use, which usually on the website has a value of $319.90. You're also going to get the 10 exclusive kits from Producer Loops, which you can only find on their website. And if you were to buy them from there, they would be worth $456.64. You're also going to get the 25 unreleased kits from Modern Producers, which are not available anywhere else, that have a combined value of $730.51. And you're also going to get 3 big bonuses, which is the bonus kits with the FL Studio Mixer presets and the Producer Loops bestsellers. And you're also going to get the ebooks and all that good stuff with a combined value of $748.95. You're going to get a custom beat tag as another bonus worth $19.99. And finally, you're going to get probably the absolute best and biggest service in the entire bundle, which is the access to the Platinum Circle and the coaching sessions with me personally, with the usual value of $1,997. So for $347 today, you're basically buying yourself $4,272 worth of kits and services. So that's pretty sweet, right? But again, if you want to grab it, just head over to producerevent.com/go. All right, Igor is asking me, what percentage of your revenue comes from leasing as opposed to exclusive licensing? So this is a pretty interesting question, because I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been a real shift in the industry among artists towards embracing non-exclusive licensing. And I'm not just talking about the independent artists, I'm also talking about major artists and major labels. So more and more, they're happy to just license something non-exclusively. And that's not actually a bad thing, because even though if the non-exclusive license is obviously less money compared to the exclusive, it means you get to hold on to your beat, which means you get to carry on making passive income from it. So for me personally, I'm actually moving more and more away from the exclusive licensing anyway, because I like to retain the rights to my beats, which means I can make advertising income, I can earn royalties and stuff like that, rather than just a buyout where you have to mark your beat as sold. Does that make sense? So for me, I would say it used to be that the majority of my income came from exclusive, let's say like 60 to 40% of my income, whereas now like the vast majority, something like 90% is from non-exclusive licensing and only about 10% from exclusive. So I don't really sell that many more exclusives unless I'm sort of working directly with an artist. You know, when you're actually in the studio with an artist or creating an album and they specifically want custom-made beats. Robert is asking me, I just want the unreleased kits. So, I mean, honestly, if you just want the unreleased kits, it would be $730. But obviously, if you get the bundle today, you're paying just half that. So no matter what, you might as well pick up the entire collection of stuff because the price is still going to be the same. For $347, you're going to get all of the unreleased kits and all the other stuff. Verbal was asking me, can you split revenue with video creators for Content ID? At the moment, that's not something that's possible. But what you can do is if multiple people claim music on the same video, automatically, basically YouTube is going to start splitting that income. But it doesn't really work very well that way, and often it gives preference to certain people, like whoever claimed it first. So that can be a really kind of sticky situation. So what I would suggest doing if you want to split the Content ID revenue on something is to just have an agreement, maybe even like a contract with whoever you're splitting the income, and then one person sort of collects all of that money and then pays out half on, for example, a quarterly basis to the other guy. Does that make sense? Cool. All right, let's see. Black Zombie is asking me, when you sell beat albums on iTunes, the people who purchase it, do they have a standard license? No. When I'm selling stuff on iTunes and Amazon, that's actually only for casual music fans. So they don't get any kind of license to use the beats. The reason that they're buying them in that case would be solely to listen to them because they appreciate the beats. So usually it's going to be more the casual fan or some guy who is just maybe rapping on the beats for fun or something like that. But they don't have any kind of commercial rights to the beats because it's not even possible to upload a license to iTunes or to Amazon anyway. So I wouldn't recommend trying to mess with that and giving, selling leases on iTunes. It's not really built for that and it doesn't really work that way. So just kind of differentiate your iTunes customers, which should be more your music consumers and fans, from your actual artists and licensors who are going to be going to your main website or your BeatStars page or whatever it is. Okay, a couple more questions, guys. Anything you want to know? All right. Eric is saying, I'm already a member of the Platinum Circle. Was there a deal just for the kits? To be honest, the deal would still be the same because I still need to. You have to understand that the reason I'm charging for this and why it costs something is because I need to pay out Machine Masters and Producer Loops for their kits, and obviously all the other content creators from Modern Producers and so on. So the reason why it costs something is because I need to pay those guys out. So the Platinum Circle and the custom beat tag and the bonus kits, those are coming out of my pocket. All right. And those are just the bonuses. So even if you don't necessarily want just the Platinum Circle, you just want all the other stuff, the price would still be the same. And I think that's still a crazy, incredible deal because even just for the kits, you're looking at something like $2,000 worth of stuff that you're getting for 347 bucks. And this is the absolute only way that you can get these. Otherwise, you would have to go to Machine Masters, you would have to go to Producer Loops and buy them individually. And for the Modern Producer stuff, you can't even get them yet. They're not even out. So even if you have the money to buy them individually, you can't. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, Quadir is asking me, how do I find a good rep? So when you're looking for a rep or an agency, what it comes down to is just doing a bit of research. You can ask around, you can ask production colleagues. You can also research by just literally going onto Google and typing in music agency in Los Angeles, or boutique music licensing agency or something like that. And then you just want to look through their credits. You want to maybe speak to them on the phone. You want to network with them, get their take on everything and see what they can offer you. And it's just about, working the system, speaking to the network, getting to know people, and just sussing out for yourself who you think is going to add value to you. So, unfortunately, there's no general list of the very best reps or the very best agencies or anything like that. So just do your own research. All right. So again, guys, we just have about 12 minutes left to grab the exclusive producer bundle. If you do want to get it, head over to producerevent.com/go. It's only going to be available until the end of the webinar. And I need to take this thing offline in about 12 minutes. So if you want to grab it, head over to producerevent.com/go. You're going to get the entire exclusive producer kit bundle for $347. Or if you don't have the full amount up front, you can do the payment plan, which is just $147 USD today, and you can pay the rest off in 3 months. So that should be hopefully more affordable to some of you guys if the $347 discount today is not an option for you. And also, if you're paying with PayPal and you're based in the US, sometimes it will give you the option to pay with PayPal credit or take out a PayPal working capital loan. So you can try that out. I believe that's 0%, zero interest if you pay back within 6 months. So you can actually get the discount, the $347 kit for $0 today if you go that route. It's only available to people in the US, I believe, but check that out. All right, a couple more questions and then we'll wrap things up. Sheldon is asking, how do you get the custom beat tag? So once you buy the kit bundle, you're going to receive an email, a personal email from me, welcoming you to the Platinum Circle, giving you the download links for everything. As a backup link, because you're obviously going to get automatically forwarded to a download page instantly after purchasing. And one of those items in the email I send out is going to ask you what the content and the voice you want for your custom beat tag is going to be. So we have both a female and a male DJ available. And all you have to do is just let me know the content. You don't have to do it now. You can send it to me in a week or something. But say, for example, you want djvladbeats.com. Then we would basically send our DJ to the studio, and he would record that, and we would then send the MP3 and the WAV file back to you in high quality. Super easy. But again, if you purchase the kit today, you're going to be instantly forwarded to a download area where you can download everything right now. So you don't have to wait on that, but I will send a backup link to your emails too, for those of you guys grabbing the kit. Drop me a line if you already purchased the bundle. I know a bunch of you guys are getting super excited. Maybe some of you are already downloading that thing. You're going to have a ton of downloads. I think it's, 50 gigabytes or more of stuff. It's going to be crazy. So give me a shout out if you already purchased that. And if you're going through, just hopefully your eyeballs will be dropped onto the floor and you'll realize that there's some extra bonuses in there too. Some little extra thank yous from me. Alex says he got it. Shout out to you, man. Enjoy. Carlos as well. Matthew says too much stuff. Yeah, man, it's a lot of great stuff, but I really wanted to hook you guys up and give you an awesome deal. So I'm excited about being able to negotiate this with my partners. So yeah, I'm very thankful to them too. So shout out to Machine Masters and to Producer Loops. really hooking me and you guys up. Okay, I'm going to take a few more questions and then we'll wrap things up, guys. Let's see. Any more questions? Christian says, how do you register your works through ASCAP and the other PROs? So once you've set up an account with ASCAP or BMI, you just want to log in and it's going to give you the option to register your works. And all you have to do really is you don't have to upload your actual music to the site. You just type in the title of the piece of music. You can associate an ISRC code with it if you've already released it, for example, as a single or on an album or something like that. Otherwise, all you want to do is register the name. And then obviously you're going to have your personal registration number too, which you want to give to the artists or the clients that you're working with. And the way it works is basically they're going to register their song or their broadcast as well with their organization. And then they're going to enter you as sort of a co-writer or a producer or something like that. And then they're going to basically enter the agreed split for the royalties. So that might be, for example, 50-50 on the back end if you're working with an artist. And then automatically your PRO is going to collect those payments and pay 50% out to you. So super easy. Luis is asking me, what's the name of the other PRO? Aside from ASCAP, you can also do BMI. So there are two really big ones in the US, at least, are ASCAP and BMI. And my personal preference is ASCAP, but it kind of depends on what you're looking for. So just kind of browse through their list of services and see what works best for you. Let's see. So Nathaniel is asking me, how does the registering of a song work if the artist releases a song and it has a different title than the beat? So that doesn't really matter because you're going to have a registration number for your beat. And also, more importantly, the artist is going to enter the name of the original piece of music too that he's using. So the whole system works. Sometimes it's a little difficult matching everything, but usually if you provide all the correct information and the artist or the client of yours fills it out correctly, then you will get paid out. If not, then you also have a chance, down the line to actively claim royalties yourself by just logging into the BMI or the ASCAP system and searching for pieces of music that you worked on. And you can do it that way around, later down the line too. So you don't have to miss out on royalties no matter what happens. Okay, Jordan is saying, I wish I could get the bundle, but I'm only 13 years old. So Jordan, listen, if you don't have a credit card or you don't have a PayPal account, what you can do is ask your friends or whatever to buy it for you, and you can give it to them later on. Again, if you don't have $347 today, you can also do the payment plan of $147. So if you really want to get this bundle today, but you don't necessarily have the money, I don't know, just come up with a creative solution. I feel like if you really want it, you can ask a friend to get it for you. You can ask your parents, I don't know, make it your birthday or your Christmas gift. How about that? But again, guys, like obviously not everyone is going to want to get this. I understand that. But for those of you guys who really want to take your production career to the next level and really set things off, then I think this is probably the best single investment you can make into yourself as a music producer. Getting over $4,000 of kits and services, which the top of the line producers use and value, for 93% off is pretty crazy. But again, if you want to get the bundle, we're actually going to be closing the registrations in about 5 minutes. I'm going to try and keep the bundle open for just a couple more minutes after we wrap up for those that didn't manage to get it. But this is the only time you're going to be able to get the kit. It will go offline, and it's going to be at producerevent.com/go. I also put a little sticky link. There's an orange add to cart link inside your chat window for those of you guys who just want to click on that and immediately get forwarded to the site. So super easy, producerevent.com/go. Track Team says, I just want to join the Platinum Circle. How can I do that? Actually, right now, registrations are closed, so I'm not adding any more producers. The only way that you're going to get in right now is by getting the exclusive producer kit bundle today. I don't have any plans of adding more producers for some time, for the simple fact that I want to keep it a closely knit, tight group of producers that I can work with and engage directly and actively. So you might have seen registrations open in the past, but right now, this is the only way that you can still get in. So if you want to join the Platinum Circle and get the coaching, which that alone is worth over $1,997, never mind all the kits and stuff you're getting, then I would suggest that you buy the kit bundle today and you're going to be added in. Sound fair? John is asking me, are you still going live? Yeah, man, I'm here. I'm talking to you live, answering questions. I can't exactly pre-record answers to questions. That's not how it works. Let's see. Aaron is asking me, once I purchase, am I able to download anytime? Yes. All of the download links will be active for a good amount of time. So it doesn't matter if it's now, if it's in a week. If you're watching on a phone and you obviously can't download everything right now, it doesn't matter. As I said, I'm also going to send you a backup link to your email, which does not expire. So even if you want to download them in a month or maybe even 6 months, if you have some kind of hardware issue or something, it happens to the best of us. Trust me. Then those links will still be active for you. So I'm going to do my best to host this for you. You can just download it whenever you wish. So don't be concerned if right now you want to buy the kit, but you don't have space on your hard drive, or you're watching from a phone, or you just don't know if you can download it anytime soon. That's fine. A couple more questions. Let's see. Roll Biza is asking me, I do custom scratch hooks. Is it difficult to put a price on that? I actually do custom scratch hooks on some of my beats sometimes. And the way I do it is I offer both a version with scratches and a version without scratches, because some artists just don't want the headache of clearing vocal samples, or they don't like the sound of scratches. So I'd recommend doing one version without and one version with. And for the version with the scratches, you can just charge a little bit more. Let's say for the license, maybe $5 more. Off the exclusive, it can be like $100 to $200 more for the scratched hook. But that's totally up to you. Every producer kind of does it differently. When I'm offering just scratched hooks from my DJ team, I usually charge about $200 for custom scratched hooks or scratched intros, whatever it is. So just to give you an idea of the kind of value or price. But I've seen artists, buy scratched hooks from anywhere up to $300 or $400 from really top of the range DJs too. Kalon is asking me, do you critique other producers' beats? Yeah, that's actually one of these services that we offer in the Platinum Circle. One of the reasons why it's so great to be a part of that community is because we already have a bunch of high quality producers in there that regularly give feedback to other producers. And it just it's grown into this incredible, amazing community already, which I'm very proud of. Everyone's supporting everyone. Everyone's giving production tips. Everyone's posting up information about contests and access to opportunities. So it's pretty cool. And everyone kind of critiques each other's beats and gives feedback. And it's really helped a lot of these producers grow a lot already. And of course, I'm going to be there personally too, giving feedback all the time. All right, so we're going to shut things down in just over a minute. Just one last time, I wanted to remind you guys, if you want to get this bundle, head over to producerevent.com/go. It's a $347 kit bundle for today only, and only during the duration of this webinar. And what you're going to get is basically 10 exclusive kits, usually only available at Machine Masters, for a combined value of $319.90. You're also going to get 10 exclusive kits only available at Producer Loops. These are brand new kits and really top of the range stuff, high quality stuff with a value of $456.64. You're also going to get 25 completely unreleased kits from modern producers from a whole host of different vendors and distributors like Jules Jaden, Steve Lawrence, Too Deep, and a bunch of these awesome guys with a combined value of $730.51. Then you're also going to get all of the bonus kits, including the FL Studio Mixer presets, the Producer Loops bestsellers. You're going to get the ebook series. You're going to get the coupons to try My Flash Store and BeatStars for free. And of course, the 40% discount coupon for ImageLine and for modern producers, which that alone, if you order a ton of stuff regularly, that could be hundreds of thousands in savings. With a combined value of, let's say conservatively, $748.95. And then you're also going to get the custom beat tag worth $19.99. And of course, the access to the Platinum Circle Producer Development Program and Group and the coaching sessions with a value of $1,999.97. So in total today, you're getting $4,272.99 worth of stuff for $347. That's 93% off. And the only way to get it is to go to producerevent.com/go. All right. So that brings us to the end of our webinar presentation today. Thank you guys so much for showing up. I really appreciate you. I appreciate every single person who showed up, who commented, and of course, all of the producers who really took it one step further and bought the bundle today. I'm really excited to be working with you guys directly, to be helping you get to that next level and develop you as a producer. So shout out to you guys. For everybody who just showed up to get some free knowledge and pick up the free kit, I really appreciate you guys too. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you take something away from today's presentation, which you can implement and hopefully it will get you more sales, more traffic, and really grow your brand as a producer. So once again, the last chance to buy the kit is at producerevent.com/go. And in a minute here, I'm just going to post up the link to the free 808 kit for you guys right now as a thank you. So I'm just going to pop that into the chat window. If you can't see it pop up, I'm also going to hit you guys per email. I'm also going to post it in the chat. And you're going to get an instant download link for the 808 kit. Just click on that and enjoy that. Make some dope beats. Send them my way too. I'd love to hear them. So I'm just going to be hanging out a few more minutes in the chat room, just talking to you guys. I'm going to shut down the live audio feed right now. So you're going to get a quick glimpse of me, and then I'm going to shut things down and just chat in the comment room for a little bit longer. If you have any more questions, shoot them my way. I believe the offer is still live for a couple more minutes. Producerevent.com/go. And as I said, the 808 pack is now being sent to you guys right now. So I just popped it into the chat room there. I'm also going to be posting up the link a couple of times, and I might try and email it to you guys too if you don't see it. So thank you guys so much for showing up today. That's all from me, Anno Domini. Thank you for showing up to our free live webinar presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you took a lot out of it. Take care, guys, and have an awesome Friday. That's all from me, Eddie. I'll see you guys next time. Shout out to you.